But let's welcome on board Anil Rai Gupta, the Chairman and MD at Havells India, and talk about how their earnings have been. Anil, great to have you today on ET Now. Your margins and that downtick of 230 basis points, it was impacted by advertising and sales promotion expenses. Do you think that's what unilaterally led to that increase, and that increase impacted your margins? Should we expect the elevated advertising spend then to continue over the coming quarters as well? Or would you say it was largely Q1 front-loaded?
Yeah, I would expect that the Q1 was front-loaded, and there will be a normalization of the A&P spends throughout the year, depending upon the seasonal quarters as well. So our overall margins should remain in the 2.5% to 3% of revenues guidance.
And Q2, despite margin decline, revenue growth was strong. Can we expect this same growth will continue in the coming quarters as well from a Q2 standpoint? What is the top line growth for FY27 expected to be in at?
I think overall we are quite, happy about the first quarter performance. The revenue growth has been resilient in most of the product categories. Cables and wires continue to do well. We were a bit impacted by the switchgear exports sales, which were sluggish because of West Asia crisis. But otherwise, generally speaking, we have seen growth in the ECD segment. Some of the categories have shown very good growth: small domestic appliances, water heaters. The renewables, which is a newer business for Havells, also has shown very strong tailwinds. So overall, we are quite hopeful for the coming quarters for a good growth.
Mr. Gupta, your peers have seen degrowth in exports in the quarter. How has exports been for you from a performance point of view?
I think in the first quarter, we've experienced flattish growth in overall exports. For switchgears, it's a larger part, so hence it has impacted switchgear growth. But otherwise, overall also we've seen flattish growth. It's difficult to say because the West Asia crisis continue to be there. So hopefully, maybe the export demand may remain sluggish during the entire year. But still, large part of our business definitely comes from the domestic market, where the demand continues to look strong.
Right. And how has been the volume growth in cables and the wire segment and other categories as well?
I think in wires and cables, there was muted volume growth because, the raw material prices had been at a very high level. But in other categories also, we've seen muted volume growth because of the volatility in raw material prices and staggered price hikes which have been taken during the last couple of quarters. So there has been muted volume growth, but higher value growth in most of the businesses.
Okay, and Lloyd's, it's reported a strong growth in Q1, especially because of the decent summer that we've had. But going forward, what's the growth that you're expecting from that segment?
I think we are quite hopeful that the next 3 or 4 quarters for Lloyd should look good. One, we are, the price hikes which were imminent because of the raw material volatility have been taken. We should also get additional volumes for our new capacity of refrigerators in the second and third quarter. So overall, we are hopeful that the next few quarters, Lloyd revenue should be strong.
Mr. Gupta, how much of price hikes have you taken in Q1, and will you pass full price hike to the extent possible to the customers? And are there any in the pipeline?
I guess the price hikes are varying between different product categories, between different businesses, depending upon the kind of raw materials being used. But otherwise, generally speaking, 7 to 8% would be the price hikes in the consumer-oriented categories. I believe that, the volatility which was there for raw materials has been factored in. The price hikes have been taken. Now the price actions will depend upon how the raw materials pan out. But I would say most of it has already been taken.
Right. Last quarter you guided capex of about 800 crore rupees for FY27, and now you're targeting a capex of 1400 crore rupees. Wanted more details as to which plant is it going to be used for?
Well, the major part of this 1,500 crore capex is coming out of the cables capacity expansion. Almost more than half of this is going into cables. About 200 crores is going into setting up the R&D facility for Havells. This will be, what will be spent this year. So the new R&D facility will continue to do capex for the next couple of years. So about 200 crores is coming out of that.
Okay, and channel inventory remained below normal due to commodity price corrections. Have dealers started restocking in Q2? How is demand trending so far?
I think it's very early right now to comment on the demand for Q2, but yes, there was some channel destocking which happened just at the end of the quarter. But otherwise, we'll see how things go. As I said, the demand remained strong in the first quarter. Hopefully, this trend continues.
Mr. Gupta, how has consumer demand evolved across premium and mass market categories, especially after the summer season?
I think the demand, as I have already said, in the first quarter has been fairly decent, and I hope this continues in the coming quarters.
Right. So do you expect AI, data centers and transmission investments to become meaningful demand drivers for the cables business over the next 2 to 3 years?
Yes, definitely we do. I think India is seeing a major investment in the data centers, and a few of our product categories, cables, lighting, they make meaningful. They can be meaningful business for these product categories. So yes, we are looking at this very favorably.
Okay, thank you so much for coming in and speaking to us. Good having your perspective post the Q1 numbers.